တိရဲ့ထိုးလိုက်ချက်အားကောင်းတာသူတို့ကအားနေတတ်တယ်သိအင်အားစုအပြည့်မပါဘူးဆိုရင်တော့တတိယလည်းအားနေတတ်တယ်။ဒါဆိုတော့ကပြောခဲ့တဲ့ခြေကံသိအင်အားစုရောရှုစိတ်ကာလမှာသိအင်အားစုရောကျောင်းပေါက်ဆိုညီညွတ်မှာတတိယအားကောင်းတာသူ့မှာချင်းလက်ွက်ပွဲမှာဝင်ရှင်ပြိုင်ဘက်ကိုအနေကြီးရဲ့ကိုယ်ကအလေးကြီးအများကြီးပါရှင်ပြိုင်ဘက်ကအပါလို့ထိုးလိုက်တဲ့အကွက်ကောင်းရှိတယ်တစ်ဖက်ကလာတဲ့ထိုးလိုက်တဲ့ကိုလည်းပဲသူ့မကြည့်ပါရအောင်ရှောင်းတဲ့နေလိုက်နေရဆက်လိုက်လို့ကြရရေးလို့ရှိတယ်ဘုရားကလာတဲ့ဒီလိုနဲ့ရှောင်းထိုးလိုက်တဲ့ကိုလည်းရှောင်းကိုယ်နဲ့ကိုယ်ကောင်းကြည့်ပြီးတော့ရှင်ပြိုင်ဘက်ကိုအပါလို့ထိုးလိုက်တဲ့ဒါလည်းရှိတစ်ချက်ပြီးတော့ရင်တစ်ချက်ဆိုတော့ရှင်ပြိုင်ဘက်ကအားလို့တော့နောက်တစ်ချက်ကိုယ်ကောင်းရလို့ဒီနောက်တစ်ချက်စာအားလို့တော့အဲ့လိုအပါနဲ့ထိုးလိုက်တဲ့ဒီတော်တော်များသွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ရှင်ပြိုင်ဘက်ဟာဒီကလိုအားမကောင်းလို့ယံခါသုတိယလာတဲ့ထိုးလိုက်ချက်ကအပါနဲ့ထိုးလိုက်ချက်မဟုတ်တော့ကိုယ်ကျပါလာလို့ရှိလိုက်တယ်ဒီကိုကအပေါ်ကြီးရလာတယ်ဒီပေါ်ကြီးရလာတော့သူ့အကြောင်းလည်းပဲကိုယ်သိနေသူ့ရဲ့သူ့လည်းကိုယ်ဆုံးနေတယ်ကိုယ်လည်းပဲကိုယ်ကောင်းကြည့်ပြီးတော့ဖွင့်စားတယ်လို့ဟုတ်တယ်အပါနဲ့ထိုးလိုက်ချက်လည်းစက်ကဘုက္ခုရည်ဖွင့်စားနေပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီဘက်ကသူအားလို့တော့အားလည်းရတော့ဆုံးအချက်ရောက်တဲ့ဆက်လဲထူးဆက်အဲ့ဒါမှသတ်မှတ်ထားတဲ့အချိန်တည်းဒီဘက်ကမဆက်နိုင်ဘူးဆိုရင်တော့ရတယ်ဒီကိလေသာတွေအားလည်းတော့ဆိုတာအပါရဲ့တတိရဲ့ထိုးထိုက်ခြင်းရှင်ရဲ့ဘက်ကအနိုင်ယူလို့ရှိရင်သူဒီရလာတဲ့ထိုးထိုက်ခြင်းတက်ကျွမ်းလို့ကျဆက်ဆက်လာလို့ဆိုပြီးတော့ကိုယ်အကူကောင်းကိုဒီလိုအပါရဲ့ထိုးထိုက်ခြင်းဖြစ်ပါဘူးအဲ့ဒီဒီလိုပဲအလို့ဒီအားလည်းတော့လောက်ပြီးလာရင်ဆိုပြီးတော့ကြားလာတယ်
Here it says kilesa in the background, but we say kilesa in between notings, not in the background. That how I should note so that kilesa which first say in the background are not getting stronger. That means to make the kilesa which appear in between notings become weaker and weaker. How to do it? You must strike the kilesa with mindfulness blow which has a real strength. In other words, powerful mindfulness blow. But to have the strong mindfulness, as Sarah explained before, we need two mental energy. The one we must have before meditation, the one we must have while we are practicing meditation. Now simile here is and we must strike in a very direct manner with aiming and focusing. Now we are in a boxing ring. To knock down your opponent, we must study him. And then we must avoid his blow. We look for a chance, and whenever we have a chance, we give him a blow. But to do this, we must be quick, we must be alert, we must be full of energy. Yeah. We must be alert all the time. We avoid his blow. And when we have a chance, we give him a blow with strong blow. Whenever we land a blow on the opponent's face, he becomes weaker once. Then we still avoid his blow. And whenever we have a chance again, we give him a blow. So second time he becomes weak, more weak. Third time he becomes more weak. And then we still keep on avoiding his blow, look for a chance. We must be alert all the time, we must be quick all the time. And then we give him a blow again. So when you think he has become weak enough, you look for a good chance. And then what you do? You give him a final blow. He falls on the ring. He falls down. So at the count of 10, if the opponent cannot get up, you are the winner. So, to strike the kilesa, to overcome the kilesa, similarly, at the same way, you must strike with mindfulness blow, which is strong enough. But Sarah said he doesn't actually want to give this simile because it is a little cruel. But the audience will get the picture in a clear manner. Buddha taught us to have compassion on living beings. But he said, you must not have compassion on kilesa that is in your body. You must not have a little bit of pity on kilesa. You must be cruel to the kilesa, Buddha has said. So when fighting kilesa, it must be like fire. The fire will have no regard to any kind of things that can burn. So when there is fire, the fire will burn all the sewers without any regard, without any compassion, without any sort of a pity. So, with respect to kilesa, we must be like that. We must not have any pity. We must not have any compassion. And when you are in a boxing ring, if you are having pity and if you are having compassion towards your opponent, it is you who are going to suffer. So when fighting your opponent kilesa, you must act the same way. No pity, no compassion, no regard. It is said like this in the text also.
ဘာဖြစ်လို့ကိလေသာကိုအကျဉ်းနာမရလို့သတ္တဝါတွေမှာကျုပ်ရခံစားရတဲ့ရာသင်းကြီးဆိုဒီမြင်ရမှုကိလေသာတွေလို့စိတ်ကဆင်းရဲနေတာကိလေသာတွေကြောင့်ကိလေသာရောဒီကိလေသာတွေကသူတို့ဖြစ်ဆက်မှာလည်းကိလေသာကိုကျင်းတဲ့ပုံကိုသိစေလောက်ဖြစ်တာကိလေသာတွေလိုလိုက်ပြီးတော့ပြုမှပြောမှစိတ်ထားမှတွေပြုလို့ကျင်လည်းတော့ခံမှာကျေလူကဖြစ်ဖြစ်တုံးဖြစ်ကောင်းကျိုးမပေးတာဘူးဆိုးကျိုးဆိုးကျိုးပေးတဲ့ဟာတွေလည်းလည်းကိုယ်ကအနိကဆိုဉာဏ်သူစိတ်လိုတာဉာဏ်သူကိုဉာဏ်ကိုပဲခံပြီးတော့ဉာဏ်သူကိုတက်တော်တဲ့နည်းနဲ့ကိုယ်အနေရောအသေးသေးအကြောင်းဖြစ်တဲ့ကိုယ်အနိကဆိုဉာဏ်သူကိုအနေရည်သူ့ညာလို့ရှိရင်ကိုယ်ခံရပါကြီးလို့ဆိုရင်အဲ့ဒီလိုပြောရှိတယ်မကြရဘူးရည်ရည်ဆက်ဆက်
Why we must not have compassion on kilesa? Because the suffering experienced by all the beings are based on kilesa. When one is having kilesa, this particular person will suffer. Now, if we follow after kilesa, and if we have misconducts, three ways, verbal, physical, and mental, these actions will follow us. We will experience unwholesome things later. We will experience sufferings later because of the kilesa. So, kilesa will not do you any good. Kilesa will give you evil things. So, if something gives you evil things, this particular something is your enemy. So, kilesa can be said as the nearest enemy we can have. Therefore, internal kilesa, the nearest internal enemy we have. Kilesa is the nearest internal enemy we have. So we must not have any regard, we must not have any pity, we must not have compassion on kilesa. And therefore, we must get rid of the kilesa with appropriate method. Now, if you have pity on kilesa, it is you who is going to suffer. That is why we must not have any pity, we must not have any regard, we must not have any compassion on kilesa. Therefore, we must destroy the kilesa in a very cruel manner.
Yeah. ယောဂီတွေကိုယ်ရလို့လုပ်ဖို့ဆိုအနိကရောက်လာတဲ့ဉာဏ်ကိုခက်လန်းလန်းကဉာဏ်ဘလို့ကိုဥစားပြီးတော့ဘုရားပုံပြီးတောက်တယ်
This particular moment, Sierra wants to pose a question to the audience. You have an enemy near you. You have enemy quite distant from you. Who is more dangerous? Whom are you going to destroy at the beginning, the first time? This is it. So if you cannot stand the kilesa, then you must fight, you must kill. Sarah thinks he has answered more than necessary.
The idea that the change time must be open to you. You got alone the way like young car, can go on. Take that young and the city and the moon is there that is here. Now you get to the difference something like that. The same time is money open when I see along to do something. I miss you. Everywhere she put I what is it? Material Kalana more water being in the city. I want to go. She might say, Aga, here. Home for the same. By that, she and the sea, 2 million, no matter here. She called me over. Home for the children. Home for the children. Yanka, certainly. That's the issue. Here, I'm talking about the issue. You have to take it. I will not send them to that. This is here, and I'm meeting it. I'm not doing it. She says it's going to that. Here, I mean, what I can't do, I hear that. I have to go to say when that she doesn't need to see. She will say you will say that when you see it. She will say, me, I want to say, put me the president. Now, the lead time now, the leader has done the data with she
We go to the second question. In one sitting, having noted rising falling for some time, the rising falling becomes very subtle and at times disappears. The mind became suddenly very silent and calm, but very alert. There are 2 instances where the rising falling becomes hazy, dim. Maybe the mind does not reach the object. In other words, the mind is away from the object. Then the rising falling can become dim, become hazy. Secondly, when there is not enough mental energy, the rising falling may become dim and hazy. But the one who asked this question, Renati, is not here. So Sayadaw cannot ask him how rising, falling become subtle. Even if he is not here, there must be answers. Now, before we start meditation, our breathing process very prominent and sort of crude, heavy breathing, especially when we run, when we climb a hill. But when we walk slowly and when we are sitting down, the breathing process is not so hard. It can be quite subtle. Now again, when we are interested in an object, our mind is concentrated on something. Inhaling, outhailing, exhaling can become subtle. And because we are interested in something we encounter, only after that, what happens is, we breathe in a very hard manner. Because before, when we are interested in something, our breathing was very subtle.
I don't know the only attach a I want to tell you that people are saying I see you, don't you say you. They would order Kazano. I am a new year, they don't you say you. They would I know. I was going to tell you that now. Don't you say you, my idea. I see that I think we got to do I don't think we got to do I will see that over. She would he does a gala, I see it, say close and started to do the over. Tomorrow, the banner to see a lot of the yarn you see it, I see that. I want to see you wait on the door and do it when it's one run. You may have paid it. I don't know where it is. Josie. Josie is that. Every time you are 6 hours. 6 slowly. Yeah. We are. We are. We are going to do that. They were going to tell you that I am telling you that. So there are any kind of then say something outside of her. Just say you will see your papa. And it's the way I can only get with the fear in the family. You know what? You know.
When our practices gain momentum and when we are complete with Khanika Samadhi or momentary concentration, the breathing becomes quite subtle. Therefore, rising falling, which is connected to the breathing process, becomes subtle. And when rising falling was prominent, we did not have to put so much energy, so much effort to be able to note the rising falling. When rising falling becomes subtle, if we do not have enough strength, if we do not put enough effort, our noting mind cannot cope up with a subtle object. That is why it appears to us that the object is very subtle and object is disappearing. Now it is like looking a thing from a distance. If the thing is far away from you, you cannot see it properly. So if you go closer to this thing, the thing will become clear to you, and if you go further still, you can pick out the details of the thing. So to be able to note properly when the object becomes subtle, we must increase our effort. When we increase the effort, the momentum of mindfulness will increase. When this happens, the subtle object will become clear to us. Why subtle? Because we did not have enough mental energy to go up with it, to go to the object. So if we want to note the object clearly, when we realize that objects are becoming subtle, we have to increase our mental energy, we have to increase our effort. Then the objects will become prominent to us.
စိတ်ကြီးရုပ်နဲ့အလုံးစိတ်ရင်းတဲ့တော့ဒါတော့စိတ်ကဒီလိုဖြစ်တယ်လို့ပြောတယ်။ကြောက်ရိုးရိုးဖြစ်တယ်ရိုးရိုးစိတ်ကြီးရင်းတဲ့တော့ဒီအားနဲ့ဒီကြောင့်ဖြစ်တယ်။ဒီကြောင့်ဒီဆက်ဒီကြောင့်ဖြစ်တယ်။ဒါဒီရင်းရဲ့ရှိပေါင်းရလည်းရုပ်နဲ့ဒီလိုဖြစ်တယ်။တဲ့တော့တဲ့တာမှတ်နေရတယ်လို့ဒီလိုဖြစ်တယ်။ရုပ်နဲ့ဒီလိုဖြစ်တယ်။သမထသမထဖြစ်တယ်။ဖြစ်နေတယ်။ဒါတော့ဖြစ်နေတယ်။ဒီကသုတ္တရာအာရုံဆုံးတဲ့ဒီလိုဖြစ်တယ်။တအောင်တော့ဒီကျတော့ဖြစ်တယ်။အဲဒီလိုဆိုပြီးတော့ရုပ်ရည်ကိုဘုန်းကြီးတို့သိကြတယ်သိစိတ်ပါတယ်ဒီလိုနဲ့ဒီတိုင်း
And says the mind became suddenly very silent. This can happen due to various reasons. It can happen because of piti, rapture, because of passaddhi, serenity, and because of the concentration. And this can also happen while we are practicing in a very comfortable manner. This can happen suddenly for equivalent of the duration of 1 or 2 minutes. Now, when we encounter a happy situation, this can happen also. We become silent all of a sudden. Especially the children, when they see things they like, they become silent all of a sudden. The grown-ups also the same.
လူကြီးတွေတော့ နှစ်သိအားเสียဒီလိုလေးတွေနေရတတိယကောင်းကြားတဲ့ဆံလို့ရုပ်နဲ့ဆိုပြည့်စုံလို့ဒါတော့ကိုပါပြောလိုက်တာမသိလားဒီလိုပဲသိစုတာပြန်ပြောတတ်ပါမယ်ပြန်ပြောတဲ့ဒီလိုပဲသုံးနေကတော့ပြောတာပဲတတိယပြီးတော့ပြောဒီမှာပါဆိုလို့ဆိုပြီးတော့ဒီကာရကဒီလိုဆို
The grown-ups also, when they see something they like, when they get a good news, what happened to them is, they don't realize what the other person is talking to them. So you say, please say that again. You say 3 or 4 times, please say that again. Then only you come to know what the other person was telling you. There are many instances like this.
Yeah, alone, Jaja, the chief. There are a number of Jaja children who keep up with how to do it. It was younger, they say the nobody. They say the people. You see, the neck and the other so on.
So he says here, the mind becomes very silent, calm, but very alert. So, if he is very alert, it can be said that he became very silent because of pity or rapture. A person, when they encounter something they like, they can become very active, they can become very alert.
The second time I learned how you do it, the later thing I have a TV. I didn't do it to see that I didn't see that. I really see that. I found it
So he says the mind gets aware of this snot, sweat, saliva at the same point felt like almost entering into the snot, sweat, etc. So this says it shows that his mindfulness was quite okay.
The thing for they say that when I eat the way straight, you let me when you feel it. I don't know what it is. What I done is to up and down. I will get it.
And at some point felt like almost entering into the snot, sweat, etc. It shows that he was having something like jhana. It is like apana jhana. Vipassana jhana, something like apana jhana. And the sensations were subtle but clear. At this stage, the sensation should be clear.
Particularly alcohol is people are the thing with it, and we have using it to the job. Particularly alcohol and that are you. They will only tell you why you want to do it. When you see it, and you have more like it. ရိုးပါဝါရှိရဲ့မျက်မှန်နဲ့ကြည့်လို့တော့မှအမြင်နဲ့လောက်အောင်သင်ခွင့်နဲ့တရားဥပဒေအားကောင်းတဲ့ဒီမကြည့်ပိုင်းကိုကြည့်ရတာပါဒီလိုကြည့်မှလည်းကြည့်ရတာဆိုအေးလေးအတ္တသောတာကအကြီးကြီးကိုသင်ရတယ်။ဒါလိုပါပဲကိုယ်ထဲမှာလည်းသင်ခွင့်နဲ့အတန်လေးပါလေ။အဲဒီလိုညမှာတတ်တည်ရပါပါလား။ဘုရားတော်လည်းအဲ့ဒါကြည့်တော့ကျေလာတယ်။ဒါကလည်းရှိပေါင်းပင်ဥပ္ပါဒ်ရဒီလိုကလည်းမှသိရတယ်ပေါ့။ဒီလို့နောက်ခန္ဓာအောင်လို့သံနေတတ်တာ။ဒါကတော့ဘုရားတော်လည်းဟုတ်ပါဘူး။ဒီဆက်လိုက်ပြန်တော့ဒီသမားကြီးအားကောင်းတော့ပြင်ရတဲ့ဆက်လိုက်တော့လက်ပြည့်လို့
It says here, every time I noted the note sounded very loud like thunder. It can happen when sati, samadhi, mindfulness and concentration become strong. In our body, there are hard matter. They can be rubbing one another. Normally we do not hear it. But when we practice meditation, if our sati, samadhi becomes strong, we even hear these hard substances in our body rubbing one another. It is like something that we cannot see with our naked eyes. Maybe this thing cannot be seen with glasses, normal glasses. But if we use magnifying glass, we can see them in very detail. Now, when we are practicing meditation, while we are noting rising, falling, the sound of this noting can become very loud, like a thunder. It can happen because the sound is there while we note. And this sound sometimes we cannot bear at all. We cannot bear it at all. It is loud as a thunder. Sometimes while we are noting rising, falling, we hear as if the hammer is striking the nail. And you cannot bear it sometimes. Why? Because our sati and samadhi has become strong. And this sort of phenomena has been magnified by the power of sanya or perception. Now, during the daytime, we do not hear sudden sound because there are other objects. But come night time, when things are silent, we will be able to hear this particular sound because of the silence prevailing during the night. In yogis also, if they do not have disturbances in the surrounding, the other objects can come through the silence prevailing at the yogi, for the yogi. So at this instant, yogi thinks that the objects are very, very crude, because it is supported by the silence.
Your Sanjaya, very achievable. A tea state of yoga, yes. A tea state of I want to be tea state of the tea state of the the leader of the Arbor University of I am a Pila in the people of the Arbono. She did a sister. Arbor and a sister. Arbor and Arbor in the theater. Eddie Kaya, he gave a baby to me. He gave a fire on the knee, but I will get a baby. He gave a fire on the knee.
The teacher called this knowing mind. Okay, it is knowing mind, all right. But how? It is a knowing mind derived from strong sati and samadhi. Even if the objects may not be prominent, it is because of his strong sati and samadhi he can note properly. It means that his noting was quite strong. Then how to know this? What is the meaning of this? Sayadaw has already explained. How to know this? Note whatever arises. That's all for today.